Hi guys, Jason Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel. So, winter is nearly here. And what that means is, it's going to get cold. And when it gets cold, we don't play with a nice, fresh, brand new golf ball at 19 or so degrees like it's been in the studio. So this one's acclimatized. We get to a point where we have this one. And this one just comes straight out of a temperature controlled environment from 3 to 5 degrees, minus that is. So this one is a fairly frozen golf ball. Now, in the UK at least, we have to deal with the fact that it gets rather chilly for a long part of the season. I want to know if a standard normal temperature golf ball is any different to a frozen one. So when we play in the winter, do we have to make allowances for a frozen golf ball? And I've got FSX behind me, and FSX can do conditions as well. We can simulate air temperature and stuff like that. And so we're going to see, first of all, in a bog standard normal environment, what's the difference between a frozen golf ball and a normal temperature golf ball. And then also we'll do the test where we change the conditions to simulate freezing as well, and see if there's a further difference between standard temperature golf ball and a frozen temperature golf ball in a frozen environment as well. Simulator is now on. We're at Kinsale Golf Club, hole 13, par 3 of 163 yards. Within reason, a yard or so off of my average of my 7-iron. I will be using my 7-iron so I can keep variables down to an absolute minimum. And I have the standard normal RB Tour, which has acclimatized itself from the outside all the way down to the core at 19 degrees. So we'll hit some shots, then I'll go flick over. I'll have to go grab the cold ball from the temperature controlled environment to see what basically a frozen golf ball does when you hit it with the exact same club and all that on the exact same hole. I've got an idea about sticking a ball in the oven about 50 degrees or so and see if it makes a difference then. Let's go hit this a few times and let's go see how it gets on. Of course we know what's going to be. It's going to be a standard normal hit that I should expect from one of these. Slightly overclosed, but not bad whatsoever. You take that all day long. Slightly heely, not bad whatsoever considering that. 1.30 efficiency, good delivery, just slightly heely on the delivery. Apart from that, good. 1.30 efficiency for a blade of, what was I delivering? 29.1 degrees loft, I suppose is not bad. 1.32 really is maximum. Same again. Slightly overclosed, better strike that time, slightly toey rather than now slightly heely, but a better strike. Slightly closed, 37 yards in the air, 50 degrees descent angle, doing exceptionally well. One more, and then we'll flick over to the cold ball, the frozen ball, to see what happens when temperature eats into a golf ball and see if there's any difference when it comes to performance, like for like. Nice solid one at the pin, slightly heely again, but pretty good. Fully warmed up now, 91.4 miles an hour. Slightly heely, 7 mil hill, but 1.31 efficiency, not bad whatsoever. 37 yards in the air again, and 50 degrees descent angle. Right, let's go to the freezer. Let's go grab the RB Tour cold one, and let's go see if a frozen golf ball makes any difference. So with one now very chilly golf ball on the floor, before it warms up, let's do this test quickly. This one's been kept around about -3 to -5. I've been trying to keep it at that temperature all the way through because again, you could put it in the freezer at -18, -20 or so, whatever the standard freezer temperature is, but people aren't playing golf really in -20, and if you are, hats off to you. So I've kept it at -3 or so because in the UK at least, in the winter, we can quite easily play in -3. So let's go give this one a hit and see what difference it makes or not. That's a well hit shot. That's a well hit shot. Cool, that's only just got there. That's really well hit. 1.28. Now that is one of the freak ones I would expect to see 1.33. That's really well hit at 1.28. Yeah, so it might make a difference. Not the best. Off the bottom, so it will be fairly safe. Oh, it's just making it. Speed still, I'm drawing these in slightly. 28 degrees aloft I saw on there. yeah, so slight D-loft, slightly low on the face, but 1.26. There does seem to be a difference, even though when you hit it like this, it feels frozen. It is frozen. Now, 32 yards in the air, 48 degrees ascent angle. We do seem potentially to be not only ball speed, but also flight as well. It's left slightly, that's me. Pretty decent though, 1.28 on a closed face, 2 degrees closed face. And that's what normally I would do to cheat, try and get efficiency up. 5mm toe, apart from that, very good. Lofts 27.6 on de-lofting slightly with a closed face. That would also increase efficiency. Hit where it was. On a normal ball, you'd expect that to go 1.32, 1.33. 34 yards in the air, 49 degrees ascent angle, spins at 7.4, launching at 19.2. So on first glances, it looks like the frozen golf ball is launching slightly lower, but definitely spinning more, and also not coming off the face as fast. That'll be an interesting one to test properly. Well, I've got 3 golf balls that I've been cycling through them to keep them nice and chilly. Oh, that's a miss from me. That's a miss from me at the bottom. Good everything. Oh, it's only just made it. I pitched on the before the green. That's known as cheating. 91.2, so I'm fully warmed up. Slightly low on the face, but not bad. 4mm heel, fairly middled. 1.27 efficiency. 35 yards in the air, 50 degrees ascent angle. That is as going as well as I could really get it going. We are definitely seeing a drop in efficiency, while definitely seeing a drop of peak height. We're seeing a similar descent angle because spin is at 7.5. Wow. Okay, right. So I'm interested in doing this test now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to whack this a load of times. I'm going to have to whack the normal ball, the cold ball, then go back to the freezer, get another cold ball, hit another 8 shots maybe, cycle them round, try and get a good understanding of exactly how much the cold ball makes a difference. I'm going to do a hot ball as well. I've got another ball. I'm going to stick that in the oven, and I'm going to stick it about 50 degrees, cook it for a couple of hours or so. It's like a recipe book. And then see what the hot ball does. And then I'm going to change the software for a cold day and then do the whole thing again. And we'll get an understanding of exactly what difference temperature makes when it comes to the air, and also what temperature makes when it comes to a ball, because at the moment we're already seeing a difference when it comes to a frozen golf ball. So it'll be interesting to see what the normal one, the cold one, and also the hot one make in relation to everything. So spoiler alert, there does seem to be a difference, and actually when you tally everything up, quite a big difference. Let's go look at the numbers and see what differences are, and I've also got the differences when you look at the conditions as well, when the conditions play their part, so we can break the difference down. If there's any difference, there is. How much is it because of the ball, and how much is it because of the environment? So up on the screen you can see there, it's got the green and the red. Now I've got the club head data on there as well. Let's have a look at the ball speed for the normal ball at normal temperature. 118 miles an hour, launching at 20.7 degrees and spinning at 6.5, 6.470. It's going 37 yards in the air and 163, which within 1 or 2 yards is my standard amount. If you look at the club head speed on there, 90.3 rather than 91 miles an hour. So there's the 2 yards or so. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. But we're going 4.2 degrees down on that one. Very good delivery. Path and club face of path was good. Loft is 28.7 degrees. We'll keep a look at that. And then also you can see the strike on there for the 2. Now, the next one was the cold one. Which one is it? Oh yeah, this one here. That's the cold one. Definitely feel that one. 116.6 miles an hour. So you can already see there's a couple of miles an hour difference in ball speed, yet my club head speed is just over a mile an hour faster. So the efficiency difference you can see between 1.31 for the normal golf ball, that one, and then 1.28 on average for this one. And when you look at the strike and everything on there, 3mm and 2mm heel on average, they're decent strikes. I've got my standard deviation on there for everyone to see. But it's launching at 19 degrees and spinning at 7.6. So it's launching nearly 2 degrees lower than the normal temperature golf ball. So the frozen golf ball is launching slightly lower, 2 degrees nearly, but spinning 1200 RPM more than the normal temperature golf ball. That is a lot. Peaking height at 34 yards in the air, descending at 49 degrees. So it's still descending really well, but that's because of the spin. and carrying 157. So if you were going to do the equation like for like, ball speed, club head speed and stuff like that, you'd say that my carry distance is going to be 164, 165, and I'm losing, give or take, around about, say, 7 yards. Let's call it I'm using 7 yards in distance from the cold ball. If you look at the club head side of it, just to make sure, like for like, 1 mile an hour faster, 1.1 mile an hour faster, 4.1 down, 4.2 down, 0.1 degrees, nothing. Club path, face to path is very 0, yes. Loft is 28.5, within 0.2 of a degree, that's it. And 3 mil hill, 2 mil low, 3 mil hill, 2 mil low, and it is within reason exactly the same. So that is making the difference between a warm one and a chilly one is making about 7 yards. Well, for me, that's half a club, give or take. So you can look at the club compare screen, so you can physically see the differences in flight, etc. between the two. And when you see the differences in flight, then you can distinctly see the difference between a frozen golf ball and a standard normal temperature golf ball. This is a really good idea, guys. Make sure you've got your golf balls when it's cold, put them in your pocket. Now, I'm not saying put 18 golf balls in your pocket, but just as a bit of a tip, try and keep your balls warm. We've got on here, look at you can physically see the differences in flight, physically see the differences in peak height, etc. Even the club head data within 1 mile an hour, and I'm 1 mile an hour faster on the cold ball. There's a big difference between temperature in golf balls. So the next test that I did for temperature was I changed the FSX parameters. I now told FSX that it's foggy and it's also 32 degrees Fahrenheit, or frozen 0 for the Celsius people out there, and captured the information again with normal, cold, and also hot potato. That is very hot. It's 50 degrees, especially when holding a chilly one in your hand for a little while. So we'll look at the information on there, just purely ball data. I won't go into the club head data like I did beforehand because it will get very, but when I go to the club compare screen, you'll be able to see all the club head data, which is within reason exactly. I had a very good testing day. Let's have a look. MP20 7 iron, that's my standard 7 iron, but with the RB Tour normal temperature golf ball, but Barrow. When I say Barrow, barometrics, I change the barometrics to suit. So every single time you see Barrow, that means the cold conditions on the simulator. And then we've got normal, cold and hot for the ball. Yeah, got the idea. So the normal ball cold conditions is 120 miles an hour, no problem, 20.6 launch. Very, very similar to the standard temperature one, which it should be. This is physically measuring ball dynamics off, yeah. Spinning at 6.6, again within 180 or so RPM, exactly the same. Descending at 52 degrees, nearly 39 yards in the air, within one or so of the, that's going to be normal. And at 158 yards carry, rather than my normal 164, 165, give or take. So I'm losing at least another 6 yards in conditions when I'm using a standard normal temperature golf ball, but in cold conditions. So then I did the same thing with the cold ball in the cold conditions to see what the differences are. 116.5 miles an hour ball speed, launching again lower, 18.8 degrees. And so the more I do this, spin at 7,600, the more I do this, the more I can distinctly tell that this cold ball acts like a range ball when it's really, really cold. Range balls reduce their distance by launching lower and spinning more. And so therefore, especially when you start taking loft off, it really makes a difference. It would be interesting to do a test on this with lob wedges to see if there's a bigger or less difference. I reckon they'll be basically within reason very similar. But I think there'll be a big difference with driver when you use a cold ball and a normal temperature golf ball. So 34 yards in the air, again, an underperforming peak height and 50 degrees descent angle, 50.5 degrees. That is good because of the spin rate. 7.6 is a lot of spin. And then carrying 151. So the difference between normal golf ball, normal conditions, 164, 165, and then the carry between a cold ball and cold conditions, 151. That difference is the difference between my 7 iron and 8 iron. So I'm learning something here from a point of, if I've got cold conditions, warm ball, that's half a club. If I've got cold ball, cold conditions, that's a full club's difference. Interesting. And then I did, for the fun one at the end, I done the hot ball. the hot potato over here. Yeah, that's quite warm. That's still quite warm. 121 miles an hour is the average ball speed, 19.7 degrees of launch, which is slightly under, about a degree or so under the average of the normal temperature ones, and spinning at 7.3. And so golf ball manufacturing, golf ball design, they are set, their design is set around a certain temperature profile. And then as soon as you deviate from that temperature profile, you start seeing differences in how the golf balls perform. Peaking out at 38 and descending at 51, 52 degrees, it's performing very, very similar to that of the standard golf ball. It just launches fractionally lower and spins a bit more, but not as much as the cold. The cold ball launches distinctly lower, a couple of degrees lower, but then spins definitely more, up to 1200 or so RPM more is a lot. If you want to have a look at the differences in flight between all of them, you can do by looking at the compare screen through all of the data sets that I've collected, with the exception of the very first data set that I did when I was just fractionally warming up on the normal golf ball. I mean, that's the normal one, so I was actually hitting faster with all the other shots. 1 mile an hour is not a lot, but you can see it's open, honest, and it's out there. You can see the difference, and from the cold barometrics you can see how much distance is just ripped off the golf ball. Peak height, spins added like crazy, and you just lose distance. I'm going to equate this nice and easy for people to understand. When you are dealing with cold golf balls, frozen golf balls, because we play in very, very cold conditions, if you are going to leave your golf balls in the bag, they are going to get very, very cold. And when they do, just the cold from the golf ball alone will make half a club's difference. If you then add the weather conditions, the atmospherics, you're dealing with another half a club. So if you're dealing with those two things to think about, those two parameters, it's 1 full club's distance. This is before you take in wind and all this lot. If you do, keep your balls in your pocket, and what I would suggest now, bear in mind it takes a while for the cold to permeate through to the golf ball. So you're going to hit this with driver. These two golf balls are going to be in your pocket. Use one. You hit it with, obviously it's going to be nice and warm. You hit it with driver. It'll go down there, and it's going to take you for a few minutes or so to get down. It's not going to get through to the core in a couple of minutes. The differences I'm finding are mainly because of the core. If you can keep that core at a certain temperature, no different if you can keep it cold, or you can keep it standard temperature, nice and warm, not hot potato, because it actually makes no difference if it's hot potato. It actually takes a little bit of distance off as such, but it's marginal. The main thing is the cold. Try and keep the cold out of the golf ball, and then pop it in your pocket. If you're an amateur golfer and you do hit the golf ball not at your intended target, always keep 2 golf balls in your pocket. If you use one because you lose one, put the other one in play and get another one out of that bag quick and stick it in your pocket, and try for however long it does take to get that cold out of the golf ball, because obviously it's up against your leg. It's up against body heat, and it will warm it up over time. But obviously you can't have, if you lose 5 or 6 golf balls around, well, you can have 5 or 6 golf balls in your pocket. You look a bit weird, but it actually would make a difference when it comes to performance. Half a club in temperature of the golf ball, half a club when it comes to temperature outside. Keep that in your head when it comes to making your distance choices and decisions when you're zapping that pin with your rangefinder or your watch or whatever GPS location thing you've got, to try and make sure you can hit target more often. So, hope you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up. Go on YouTube, like so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. It's free and it's great for the channel if you could subscribe, so thank you. And next to that is a bell icon. That's a notification bell, and if you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.